Mr. Beast responds to your critique. Oh, I forgot to talk about this. He didn't respond to my critique. He saw a lot of people talking shit, and I think he read it. And normally it doesn't even matter because like he has billions of fans at this point, so like it gets lost in the sauce. But I think this is one issue where he's just like, even he as Mr. Capitalism, even as like an appreciator of capitalism, he recognizes that like, what the fuck's going on with this shit, you know? Which is true. It's a good take. It's a good tweet. It's a good take, and I stand by it. I agree with it. Yeah, but his solution is still capitalist. Wait, what? No, it's not. Asking the governments to step in and help pay for medicine is not capitalist. That is literally the exact opposite. You are trying to maybe say that like even his analysis on why this would be helpful is capitalist, in which case you are correct. Plenty of capitalist social democracies have made it so that healthcare is at least like completely affordable, you know, if not completely affordable, free, which is supposed to be. The replies on the clip of what you're saying exactly are on a different level of bootlicking. This shit went off on Livestream Failed by a fan. Like someone posted this on LSF because people are just like, I think, so brain damaged to like understanding what I have to say and, you know, read everything I say in the least charitable way possible, that they were literally yelling at me for this. Twitch streamer Hasan explained why he's filled with rage from watching Mr. Beast's news video where he cures 1,000 people's blindness. Now, that's clickbait. They did that to clickbait. And people are so fucking dumb that I don't even think they watched the video. I don't think they watched the clip even and understood what my perspective was, because everyone was like shitting on me originally. And now people are like, nah, never mind. He's actually spitting. All the top comments originally were like people losing their minds who did not read and were just like, dude, fuck you. You're a fucking idiot. Why don't you also get 1,000 people and cure their blindness? You watch the video, you go, oh, how cute and how nice. I watched the video and I'm filled with rage.
What's wrong with you?
That we shut off access to a 10-minute procedure because we paywalled it and decided that like some people just simply can't get it. It is so insanely frustrating that it's up to like one YouTube guy to like decide to make content out of it that people who are too poor can't just fucking see. That's insane. Common Hasan L. You didn't watch the video, did you? Nope, just impression farming. I've never watched Hasan in my life. Dude, I hate that. I wanna fucking kiss myself when I see that. I'm not even kidding. This is like 98% of the commentary surrounding whatever the fuck I say. I hate this so much. Do you even have enough money to do shit like this and monetize it? Yes, I could. Yes, I could. I do have enough money to do this. The reason why I don't do it is because I already work with charities and I already work with causes that I care about. But if I were to switch off everything and do a Mr. Beast style, I'm just going to do a video where I, cure 1,000 people's blindness, people would destroy me. Understandably so. Like, that's crazy. It's like whenever people say, Hasan, you have a fucking home. How dare you buy a house? Instead, you should build an apartment complex and become a landlord. I'm like, what? That is like antithetical to what I believe in. My argument is that Mr. Beast should not have to do this. My argument is that the system, if worked normally in the way that it's supposed to, would not have a need for this kind of philanthropy. Okay? It's so frustrating that people always think, oh, this guy's making analysis on structural inequality. Fuck that. He should do it on his own. One man can solve it. Shouldn't some of it? I'm not saying he should give all his money away. He could use the money to improve his content, but no, he gives it an overpriced car and an overpriced house. Think of all the money that Hasan gets could have actually gone to something productive. I want to die, dude. That's it. It's always the same shit. I don't know why people think socialism means you're in a poverty cult. I mean, I do know why. It's Red Scare propaganda. But it is very frustrating when people constantly think that this is an own or an argument. These people are saying, I don't see Hasan doing anything to help these people, but Hasan literally donates charity on the regular, and the people complaining sure as hell aren't doing anything. But even if I wasn't even donating, which I do, but even if I wasn't, like, it's such an insane thing to say to someone who you agree with or you ostensibly should be agreeing with. What are you, anti-fucking healthcare? Like, I don't understand. I'm like, hey, healthcare should be free. You, a person who literally would benefit from that, you go, pah! If you think healthcare should be free, why don't you pay for everyone's healthcare, you fucking rich guy? Mr. Daddy Warbucks over here. I'm like, what? Funnier version of these tweets. What is this? I can't even see this. Good point, but since I don't like Hasan, I will disagree. 811 likes. I don't even know if this person blocked me. So I don't even know if I fucking think it's funny or not. I can't tell if that's serious or not. Why do you think give these people attention? Is it hard to ignore them? Who cares if their opinion is that you know yourself? Just keep on doing what you do. No, this stuff is important because like a big part of what I am doing, like almost all of what I do is try to convince people, try to change people's minds. And it's so odd that like charitability is a fundamental role of that. Charitability has a fundamental role in me being able to successfully convince people. And if they were to just, instead of have this immediate disdain, instead of having this like immediate disdain and immediate like negative reaction to anything I say or do, if these people were like a little bit more open-minded, they'd be like, yeah, I agree with what he's saying. I mean, the argument that it's free healthcare means compelling some people to pay for other people, which isn't necessarily bad, but at least be upfront about it. This guy has no idea what insurance means. Like this, he doesn't understand that like all matter of healthcare is basically subsidized by other people. You know what I mean? You just don't understand it. You're describing taxes and you're describing insurance, even if you don't describe taxes. Like you don't know what you're talking about. There is a reason why pretty much every other fucking Western nation, pretty much every other developed nation, and even developing nations have decided that healthcare should not be paywalled. This will never be a negative to you. In an insurance pool, everyone pays the same premium. What? I think this chatter is literally 3 years old. There's no fucking way. If you were an adult, you would know that you are just wrong, like objectively wrong. What are you saying? He must be on his like parents' insurance or something. Having a hate boner for an act of kindness, then victimizing yourself if you were to do an act of kindness is a way to get out of doing a sad act, Lamau, but keep consulting with your incel bubble. Wait, first of all, I know Jimmy. I never hated on him for doing this either. You are just blinded by hatred that you have towards me, that you, one, mistakenly assume that this is an incel audience. Get it right. They're femcells. And two, I'm not even fucking hating on him here. I'm not mad at Mr. Beast. I'm mad at the system. Not only am I not mad at Mr. Beast, I agree with Mr. Beast. He already tweeted exactly what I was frustrated by. He said, I don't understand why curable blindness is a thing. Why don't governments step in and help? Even if you're thinking purely from a financial standpoint, it's hard to see how they don't ROI on taxes from people being able to work again, which is literally the reason why capitalist social democracies have healthcare, because it improves the workforce. It improves the labor force. So it doesn't even make sense from a capitalist perspective unless you literally are just like, I want to extract profit from every facet of society, including facets of society that have inelastic demand. Because it's Econ 101. Inelastic demand implies that there has to be market regulation. You cannot leave it up to the market when there's inelastic demand because companies can always price gouge. That's the entire point. That's neoclassical economics. You don't have to be a Marxist to understand that. I'm using your terminology and your understanding in a supply and demand structure. Your toxic traders believing that your haters have a high school understanding of economics. No, I think people have a high school understanding of economics, but they still are like, I just don't like Hasan, so I'm going to use it as an opportunity to shit on him anyway. Like, there's no way. Crazy thing to think about. The fact that people could be like anti-fucking healthcare is mind-boggling to me. I just don't understand it. I don't know how you can advocate for your own demise. Like, I don't know. You are not Mr. Blue Cross Blue Shield, okay? This is insane, though. Everything can't be free. Nothing is free, dude. One day you'll get it. Your mom also free tonight? I got dibs tonight. I already have the weekend booked before anyone tries to steal her. I got Valentine's Day, so I'm smashing the whole day. Nobody bother us. That's awesome. When a doctor tells me an anarchist to shower, that's an unjustifiable hierarchy and healthcare is evil. I agree. The only argument against nationalized healthcare that has a shred of merit is profits drive healthcare innovation. That's not true. That is literally the easiest to dunk on. If that was the case, then there would be novel chemical compounds that the United States is responsible for per capita that is significantly higher than any other country. That is, if we even refuse to recognize the reality that publicly funded research is what drives medical innovation across the board. It's just not true at all. That is objectively a falsehood. That is heritage foundation propaganda that people just rip out nonstop. The United States makes the most novel chemical compounds, yes, because it's a massive fucking country. But that's why I brought up the per capita novel chemical compounds. There are so many examples of like truly game-changing medical innovation that has been conducted from literally penicillin to insulin that was never created with the interests of like driving for-profit healthcare. It was just not done for that reason. People don't understand. Someone in the comments explain the clip easy. Valkyrie reaction, glass half full. Hasan, glass half empty. This is the biggest picture. No, that's not true. That is when I understand why leftists get mad at Mr. Beast then. That is the moment where like I disagree and it becomes indefensible. Because I don't think Mr. Beast is making this to do like, poverty porn propaganda. I think that he, in his own mind, as a fan of capitalism, like billions of people, thinks this is probably an ethical way to both drive clicks, but then take all of those clicks back and like fund the same problem that he is like talking about to be as charitable as possible. He's like doing awareness in that regard. But the moment that you look at stories like this and say, oh no, you're not supposed to point out the structural issues, then you all of a sudden are getting, you're turning this into a moment for propaganda that is pro-capitalism and let's not even agree with these let's not even look at the structural problems. Yes, the cured people don't give a fuck that it's a video they just want to see again. Yeah, I agree with that, my man. I'm not saying it's wrong to fucking pay for people's surgeries, you fucking weirdo. What? Dude, I have paid for people's surgeries. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Shut up. There was a really funny tweet I saw about this that basically, it's exaggerated, but perfectly describes the situation. Hold on. I think I saved it, maybe? Every heartwarming human interest story in America is like, he raised $20,000 to keep 200 orphans from being crushed in the orphan crushing machine, and then never asks why an orphan crushing machine exists or why you need to pay to prevent it from being used. Like, literally. That's how it goes. It's always like, this classroom raised funds so that this 5-year-old could eat at the school cafeteria and not be saddled with lifelong school lunch debt. And it's like, why is that a thing? I see that story and it zaps my fucking brain. I'm like, why? Are you fucking joking? Children should not go hungry at school. Children should not go hungry in general, but especially not at fucking school. They should not have to pay school lunch debt. It's psychotic. It is an insane concept because it is insane. A lot of aspects of capitalism where people are desperately trying to eke out as much profit as they possibly can lead to, when you think about it, insane avenues. It's a straw man argument. Eli Lilly doesn't price gouge for research. Insulin already fucking works. Yeah. The irony, of course, is that like a big chunk of what these massive pharmaceutical corporations utilize all of their vast amount of resources on is basically newer delivery mechanisms so they can fucking game the IP system and extend patents. That's it. Which, by the way, keeps medicine more expensive. Like every part of this, or advertisement, of course, but every part of this argument is just so wrong, so fundamentally wrong. When I see like a story, a feel-good story that is designed to make you go ah about like how an 8-year-old opened up a lemonade stand so he could pay for his fucking parents' cancer treatment, I lose my shit. I'm like, that's not feel good. That's feel bad. That's a feel bad story. Because there's something severely fucked up about the systems that we exist under that a fucking 8-year-old has to like raise money, raise funds for his parents' cancer treatment. It's bananas, dude. Then you look like an insane asshole for not being happy about a kid doing something good. No, the kid is doing something beautiful. It's wonderful. It's great. It shouldn't happen. It should not need to exist. That's what is frustrating about it. Obviously, I'm not mad at an 8-year-old. You have to be a psycho to make that assertion. And then when you ask why the orphan crushing machine even exists, Americans act bewildered that the large hydraulic device with a chute labeled insert orphans here could be mistaken for an orphan crushing machine. You put orphans in and the label suggests it crushes them. It's even named the Orphan Hammer 2000. If you're foolish enough to put orphans in it, the American responds. Almost exactly what he said. Yeah, 9-year-old selling lemonade raises $6,000 in 2 hours to help pay his brother's medical bills, dude. There you go. They found it. Yeah, here's my idea for like global socialism, dude. We just keep watching Mr. Beast videos until Mr. Beast single-handedly can fund the entire American healthcare system. You know what I mean? He just makes a YouTube video that so many people watch that like literally it generates enough revenue so you can start funding the American healthcare system. That's how it is. I think we're all severely underestimating how undereducated the American populace is. This isn't even about education. This is about propaganda and how successful propaganda is. Because like, you don't have to be educated to know, hey man, I'm dying. I need help. Why the fuck do I have to pay for this? This system is insane. It's like probably the most human thing you can feel, as a matter of fact. If you've ever been poor, if you've ever had an issue with like bills in any capacity, that feeling of desperation, that creeping feeling is pretty real. But every facet of propaganda that is designed to make the material realities that we all exist under seem normal has been working on overdrive since your moment of birth, that like you don't even think about the real reasons why this is fucked up and how things could be better, and immediately run defense for the system itself because change is scary and you don't want to try change. And also change might be socialism, and socialism is bad. I've learned that it's bad. I can't wait for the Mr. Beast lays 50 miles of new asphalt for rural North Carolina town video, 100 million views via Twitter. It's just insane, but it's true. It's like, Mr. Beast is not the government, dog. Why the fuck is he supposed to be doing what the government's supposed to be doing? The government's supposed to be doing this. Also, that is not even socialism. Advocating for free healthcare is not socialism. It is inherently anti-capitalist in many ways to want to, nationalize and destroy the profit motive within a massive industry. Yes, but it's not socialism. That's precisely why a lot of these social democracies in Europe are not socialist nations. They just have better amenities. They are closer to what a socialist governance would look like. Doesn't mean that they're actually socialist. They're still not socialist. And they also entirely hinge their existence on the same kind of third world exploitation that every other country in the first world benefits from. One of the funniest cucked takes that I hear, that I don't really hear that much, but I know Steven Crowder has cut a video on this because I criticized it a long time ago, was the idea that Americans actually subsidize the rest of the world's healthcare and the rest of the world's pharmaceutical prices. You are so stupid, dude. I cannot comprehend how fucking stupid you can be. That is patently false. Okay, that's not true. That is literally a Heritage Foundation talking point that made its way into your dumb baby brain. And you're just repeating it because it makes you feel comfortable as you defend the structures that we exist under, instead of recognizing how grim the reality actually is. You are just sedating yourself with falsehoods. Wait, I thought he said we subsidize their military? No. This is another argument. That's one argument. Americans pay so much in military because we subsidize everyone else's military and protection. That's one dumbass argument. The second one is Americans pay more in pharmaceuticals because that's the only way to drive innovation. Wrong, okay? And also that we subsidize other countries so they can pay less for their medicine. Also wrong. That argument comes from the Heritage Foundation directly. So you'd rather end up paying taxes for more mediocre healthcare with longer wait times. In Canada and England, patients literally die waiting. That's another falsehood that's made up. Canada is the only country that has some form of socialized medicine that has wait times that are comparable to the United States of America, whereas every other country has better wait times than the United States of America. Nobody goes to the fucking emergency room and goes, oh, I'm dying, and the doctors go, sorry. First of all, we do that here in America. We have to triage regularly in our emergency rooms, especially when you consider rural hospitals that do not even have adequate fucking healthcare in most of the goddamn country because, hey, it's not profitable to have a fucking hospital in the middle of nowhere. So that's number one. Number two, what you're describing is people waiting for not like life-saving medication. What you're describing is people that are waiting for like hip replacement surgeries and whatnot. The wait times can be a little bit longer for some of those surgeries. However, it's fucking free. Do you understand? You're advocating to paywall something. You're either advocating to ration it off by who needs it the most, or you're advocating to ration it off by who can pay for it. And let me tell you something, motherfucker. You're not winning in the who can pay for it argument. That's so stupid. And the only reason why we have those wait times is because of a lack of investment. Exactly. You don't know what's happening in Canada, so shut up. No, I do actually know what's happening in Canada. I don't know why you think I don't know what's happening with Canadian healthcare when I've like literally fucking promoted What are you talking about? Of course I know. I probably know better than what you know, what you think you know about what's happening with healthcare in Canada, you fucking idiot. Every aspect of socialized medicine is oftentimes underfunded by capital owners who desperately want to cripple that socialized system so they can privatize it. The problem with Canadian healthcare is not because it's socialized. It's because not enough resources are going into it. Same with the NHS in the UK. Shut the fuck up. Most of the time, though, those issues are also provincial. It's the provincial governments that end up doing that sort of thing. Dude, I'm invading Canada. Fuck it. This motherfucker spoke too much. It's done. It's over. California is invading Canada, and we're going to privatize your entire system, dude, so you can fucking feel what it's like to live under a truly capitalist system. You know what I mean? You fucking wannabe Euro cuck bitch having a fun little time up there, don't you know? You don't know what it's like, okay? It's done. It's over. Every aspect of Canadian healthcare that is absolutely fucked is not fucked because it's socialized. It's fucked because people refuse to fund it. Politicians refuse to fund it. Same with the NHS in the UK. And the reason why they refuse to fund it or underfund it regularly is so they can substitute it with private healthcare. The Premier of Ontario is literally privatizing our healthcare system. We will be America 2.0 in 10 years. It's hilarious hearing you talk about how great it is here. I never said it's great. I know it's not great. Literally just 2 hours ago, friend of the show, Jugmeet Singh, says, you, not CEO profit, should be the priority Canadian healthcare system. Conservative attempts to privatize it are putting that at risk, and Justin Trudeau is going along with it. What's happening in Canada is man-made orchestrated catastrophe. It's disgusting. Yeah. It's happening, again, in the UK as well. It's happening all over the place. You want to know why? Here's why. Because profit and the rate of profit has a tendency to decline. No matter what happens through tech, through innovation, profits are always going to decline. So when that happens, when profits decline, you have to find new avenues to extract profit, whether it be whipping your workforce after it becomes more efficient and cutting it down, shaving it, and then the remaining people have to work extra hard with the same technological advancements, or whether it be trying to find new avenues of privatization that were previously controlled by the government. That's the reason why it's happening in the UK and in Canada, and it's going to continue happening everywhere else. The reason is that people have less power in those countries now. This wouldn't have happened decades ago in those countries. I mean, labor always has less power, but the real reason is because they are looking for new avenues to generate revenue, to generate profit, to boost profit margins. That's it. Yeah, I mean, we are not good by any metric. The only thing, you want to know what America excels in? Like the American healthcare is bad by every metric, by every design. Our life expectancy is worse than these other countries. Obviously, that's a more complicated matter because our diet is shit too, you know what I mean? Our lack of walkability in our cities contributes greatly to that. The only thing we're good at is like our hospitals are nicer. I will admit this, usually. And also cancer treatment. I think like brain cancer or like certain kinds of cancer treatment, America is like very good at. But other than that, it does not excel in any way, shape, or form. I'm confused. If socialism is not the problem, the free healthcare in Canada, wait time being the major problem, and if that's the fact, and if the fact that the government is not funding these public institutions, isn't that the main ideology of socialism not working? Wait, what? This is why I said socialism is not the government doing things, okay? Something can be against the profit motive, even though Canadian healthcare is not entirely anti-profit motive. It's not nationalized. Spend more per capita for shittier healthcare, evidence-based fact in the United States? Yes. Overall ranking, access to care, care process. Access to care in the United States is at 11. I don't know how the fuck you can do that at 11. Wait, does 11 mean best or worse? Comparative healthcare system, Norway, Netherlands, Australia, UK, Germany, New Zealand, Sweden, France, Switzerland, Canada. And Switzerland has like the closest system to the United States. And even then it's like heavily subsidized. The United States is the lowest performing. Exhibit 3 shows that while spending as a share of gross domestic product, GDP, has increased in all countries, spending growth in the U.S., by far the worst performer overall, has greatly exceeded growth in the other 10 nations. In 1980, high-income countries spent between 5% to 8% of GDP on healthcare, but as U.S. spending accelerated over the decades, the U.S. was spending a substantially larger share of its GDP by healthcare in 2019 in comparison to every other high-income country. The United States currently spends 16.8% in 2019. In 1980, it was 8%. Still higher than everyone else, but not as bad. While all these other countries have remained relatively stable, the United States healthcare system has shot up. It's so odd that people act like healthcare is not an issue in this country when like nonprofits that normally operate in African nations literally come to the U.S. in the Appalachian region and set up shop inside of stadiums to offer healthcare to like motherfuckers living in West Virginia. You know what I mean? Like they do like one-stop shops for the day. Like that's how big of a failure it is here in the United States of America, the wealthiest nation on earth. They do like dental care. We watched a documentary on it. It's insane. And yet we still act like this is, just normal. This is supposed to be the way it's supposed to be.